Here is an example of homework D.3, predicting outcomes. With all homeworks, you got an hour to do it. No partial credit for incorrect answers. Make sure you review your graded work as soon as you're done and let me know if you have any questions. One card is drawn from a standard 52 card deck. What is the probability that the card is greater than a 3 and less than a 7? So greater than a 3 and less than a 7 means it has to be a 4, a 5, or a 6. And there are 4 suits. There are diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades. So that means there's a total of 12 cards. There's 12 successes. And that is going to be over 52 total cards. So what goes in our box, it says express your answer as a fraction. So this is going to be 12 out of 52. You can reduce that if you wanted down to 3 out of 13, but there's no need to do so. I would just leave it as 12 out of 52. If you reduce it, don't put all the possible reductions, only put one answer in the box. When selecting one card for a deck of 52, what is the probability that the selected card is a 2 and a club? Pay attention to the word and. There's only one card that is both a 2 and a club at the same time. There's only one card. 1, 2 of clubs. So 1, 2 of clubs. So what is in the box? 1 out of 52. Do not change it to a decimal because you're explicitly told to state your answer as a fraction. Picking one card, what is the probability that it is a diamond or an ace? So in this case, there are 13 diamonds, and there are 4 aces, okay? But don't count the ace of diamonds twice. So there's not 17, there are 16 cards that are an ace or a diamond because the ace of diamonds is in there. It's already counted. So this is 16 out of 52. Number 4, we're rolling a pair of dice. What is the probability of rolling a 2? The only way to get a 2 is a 1 and a 1. All right. So this means there is 1 success. And there are 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36 outcomes. So that means the probability of a 1, probability of getting a 2, I should say, is 1 out of 36. Only one way to get 2. That's a 1 on each die. State your answer as a fraction, 1 out of 36. Rolling a pair of dice, what is the probability of rolling a 9? So how many ways can we get to 9s? You can get there with there's 6 is the highest, so you can have a 3 and a 6. You can have a 4 and a 5. You can have a 5 and a 4. Picture the dice as different colors, a pink one and a green one. 4 on the pink is different from having a 5 on the pink. And then you can also have a 6 and a 3. So this means there are 4 successes. And just like before, there are 36 total outcomes. So the probability of getting a 9 is 4 out of 36. Again, you can reduce that if you want, but there is no reason to. I would leave it as 4 out of 36. This is an advantage that shows that there are actually 4 successes. Right? 4 successes, that's the 4, and 36 possible outcomes. If I reduce that to 1 out of 9, you kind of lose that extra information. So I would leave it as 4 out of 36. There's a table of men and women, and if they like football or hockey as their favorite sport, find the probability that the selected person is male. Notice how there are a total of, let's see, how many people are here altogether? There are 22 males who like football and 8 males who like hockey. So this is a total of 30 men, right? 30 men. And likewise, in the lower half, we see 29 women. Okay, so this means there are 59 people, right? Because if we add those up, and if we want to say the probability of a male, then probability of a male is 30 out of 59. Now, in this case here, pay attention to the instructions that say, let me move this up a little bit here. Express your answer as a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. So you can see that in the instructions right here, say the decimal rounded to the hundredth. So you have to change this to a decimal. So grab your calculator and do 30 divided by 59 is 0.5084. So the probability of a male, as a decimal, is 0.5084, right? And then when we round this to the hundredth, this is going to be 0.51, right? Because the 0 is in the hundredth spot and the 8 tells us to round up. So in our box over here, put 0.51. A bag contains 10 red, 6 green, 15 orange, and 14 blue balls. One ball is drawn at random from the bag. What are the odds against the ball being green? So odds against, okay, odds against are the fails to the successes. All right, so that means the ones that are not green to green. All right, and so which ones aren't green? There are 10 red, 15 orange, and 14 blue. That's 39, and then 6 green ones. So this is 39 to 6. And do note here that there are no spaces in this. So it's just like spelling. If you stick spaces in the middle of the word, it's spelled incorrectly. So this is 39 to 6. Most common mistake on this one is to use the total number of balls. Notice that this is just fails to successes. There are 45 balls, but that number doesn't appear in our answer. Odd statements do not contain the total. Odd statements are the ratio of fails to successes. Those are odds against. Number 8 is very similar. What are the odds against the card being a 3 or a 7? So remember, odds against is the fails to the successes. Right? So in this case, our fails are not 3 or a 7. And in that case, there are, there's 4 3s and 4 7s, so there's 8 successes out of 52 cards, so there are 4 46s. There are 46 fails, and successes are 3s or 7s. There's 8 of those. So that means the ratio of fails to successes is 46 to 8. And again, no spaces right here. Number 9, the probability of an event is 1 out of 12. So that means there is 1 success and 12 total. Right? That's what the 1 out of 12 means. And also understand that if since there are 12 total and 1 success, there have to be 11 fails. So then the odds against event, odds against is the fails to the successes. In this case, there are 11 fails and 1 success. And again, no spaces right here. Odd statements, just like spelling. You know, if you're spelling out the word spaces and you stick a space in the middle of it, technically it's spa-cess, and it's incorrect. So in this case, we have 11 fails and 1 success. Again, read the directions, state your answer as a colon to separate the two numbers. The odds against an event are 7 to 2. What is the probability that the event will occur? So this means there are 7 fails and 2 successes. Now add those together, that means there is equal to 9 total outcomes. That means the probability of our event is the successes over the total. In this case, the probability of our event is 2 out over 9. State your answer as a fraction. Make sure you follow the instructions right here, right? 2 over 9. So again, some of these answers are going to be decimals, some will be fractions, some will be ratios. We go through them all real quick again. Number 1 was state your answer as a fraction, right? Number 2 was state your answer as a fraction. Number 3 was state your answer as a fraction. 2 2 was a fraction, 3 was a fraction, 4 was a fraction. 5, state your answer as a fraction. 6 was as a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. Make sure we did that correctly. 7 was ratio, a colon separating the two numbers. 8 was a ratio. 9 was a ratio. Right? Most common mistake on this one is stating fractions where you should be stating ratios, or the other way around. And number 10 we just saw. State your answer as a fraction. All right, that's it. Make sure you go through your graded work. Let me know if you have questions.